Flack math!
What's up, algebrats? We're doing lesson 80, doing operations with scientific notation. So we're gonna start right now. Lesson 80. So if we wanted to multiply like 4 million times 20 million, well, that's a lot of zeros. So 40 times 20, 4 times 20 is like 80, and then plus a bunch of zeros. Well, let's just convert it to scientific notation. Remember, steps to scientific notation. First, put the decimal after the first non-zero digit, and then you're gonna multiply by a power of 10 that will return the decimal back to its starting place. So if it's right here, it has to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right. Okay, so 4 times 10 to the 6 times 2 times 10 to the 7th. Okay, so now you're just multiplying 2 times 4, which is 8, and then you're multiplying powers of 10, so you're just adding the exponents, 13. So 8 times 10 to the 13th. So this is multiplying in scientific notation. Now, what gets tricky is when you multiply your numbers like 4 times 2, and sometimes you're gonna get a 2-digit number. So then you have to convert that to scientific notation, because scientific notation, that first number has to be in between 1 and 10. So let's just try some examples and see if it works for us. So example 1, 0.003 times 10 to the negative 4th. This is all multiplied by 2 times 10 to the 20th. Whoa, that's a lot. So let's do that. So we could just multiply right now, or we could put this in true scientific notation, because right now it's not in true scientific notation. So if I said 3 times 10 to the negative 3rd, that's what 0.003 is. And this is times 10 to the negative 4th. So technically this guy is 3 times 10 to the negative 7th, all times 2 times 10 to the 20th. So now when I multiply, I get 6 times 10 to the, add the exponents, 13th. Boom. Done and done. Let's try example 2. 0.00004 times 10 to the negative 5th, all times 700,000. Okay? So this 0.00004 can be written as, let's see, 4 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5. So this is 4 times 10 to the negative 5. But that's just this times another 10 to the negative 5. So this would be 4 times 10 to the negative 10th times 7 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 5th. So 28 times 10 to the negative 5th. Now this is what I was talking about. That 28 times 10 to the negative 5th is not officially in scientific notation. So how do you make this into scientific notation? Well, 28 is just 2 times 10 to the 1st power times 10 to the negative 5th. So add these exponents, 2 times 10 to the negative 4th. Most of the time, if you get a situation like this, it's gonna be a 2-digit number. So really what you're doing is you're gonna just add one exponent to this. So if this is a negative 5, it becomes a negative 4. If this is a 17, it becomes a positive 18. If this is a negative 1 million, it becomes a negative 999,999. That was tough math. Adding 1 to negative million. That's example 2. Let's try example 3. 0.0016 divided by, division. Divided by 400,000. Remember, that's how you pronounce thousand. You don't say 1,000, you say 1,000 because it's so cool. It just rolls off the tongue. So 1.6 times 10 to the negative third, all divided by 4, times 10 to the positive 5. So we're going to do that math. 1.6 divided by 4. Well, you can do that on a calculator, or 16 divided by 4 is 4. So 1.6 divided by 4 would be 0.4 times 10 to the, okay, now what do you do with these exponents? So when you multiply powers of 10, you add the exponent. So it makes sense that when you divide powers of 10, you subtract. So this is, now you should probably write it out because you're probably gonna, if you just look at that real quick, you might do the subtraction wrong. So this is negative 3 minus 5. Well, what's negative 3 minus 5? Well, subtraction is dumb. Chicken scratch, bok. So this is actually negative 3 plus negative 5. So then we end up with 4 times 10 to the negative 8th, or this is 0.4 times 10 to the negative 8th. But that's not true scientific notation. So this guy, since it's 0.4, we have to go the other way. So this is actually 4 times 10 to the negative 1 times 10 to the negative 8. So this is 4 times 10 to the negative 9. Whoa. Okay. So first step is convert everything to scientific notation, then do the multiplication or division, and then clean up your answer. Make sure your answer is written in scientific notation. If it's not, then you're probably either moving the decimal to the right or to the left. So you're either adding one or subtracting one exponent value from your final power of 10, okay? All right, let's do another one. And this is gonna combine both multiplication and division. So let's try it. This is example 4. So 0.0007 times 10 to the negative 23rd. What? All times 4,000 times 10 to the 6th. All divided by 0.00004 times 7 million. Okay. All right, let's clean it up. Let's convert everything to scientific notation first. So this is going to be 7 times 10 to the negative 4th times 10 to the negative 23rd. So we're going to add those exponents together to get negative 27th. All times 4 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3 times 10 to the 6, so 10 to the 9th. You see how we're doing that? Step by step. All divided by 4 times 10 to the negative 5th times 7 times 10 to the 6th. Okay, so let's do that math. We get 28 times 10 to the, add these exponents together, negative 18. And then 28 times 10 to the, add these exponents together, positive 1. Okay, so now what we have is we have this division problem, 28 divided by 28. Well, instead of converting to scientific notation right here, since you could do this division pretty easily, let's just keep it. 28 divided by 28 is 1. And then this is 10 to the, remember, write it out. Negative 18 minus 1 is actually negative 18 plus negative 1. Okay, so that means you're going to have 1 times 10 to the negative 19th. Fun! All right, example 5, I'm going to write it out and then you're going to press pause. No, that wasn't pause. That was me being perfectly still. You probably didn't see me move at all. Okay. Example 5. Let's write it out, and then you're going to press pause and try to do it. Okay, here's what example 5 says. 20 times 10 to the negative 45th. All times 400 times 10 to the 20th, all divided by 100,000 times 0.0008 times 10 to the negative 15th. All right, press pause and do it. I'll wait right here. Okay, welcome back. I hope you've pressed pause. If you didn't press pause, that transition from my loud, exciting voice to this low voice can be jarring. So let's just clean this up. So we're going to say this is 2 times 10 to the positive 1 times 10 to the negative 45th would be negative 44. All times 4 times 10 to the 2 times 10 to the 20. So that'd be 10 to the 22nd. All divided by 1 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 8 times 10 to the negative 4 plus negative 15 is negative 19. Okay, so what do we get? We get 8 times 10 to the negative 22. Add those exponents together. Add these exponents together. 8 times 10 to the negative 14th. Okay, so this becomes a 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1. And then 10 to the negative 22 minus negative 14. Whoa, that's a lot of subtracting of negatives. So plus positive. So this ends up being 1 times 10 to the negative 8. Is that what you got? That's what I got. All right, that's it for lesson 80. Well done, good and faithful algebrats. Stay tuned for lesson 81. Boom.
Flack math! Give me some math and I'll give you some flack. Flack math!